Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing this morning? Sorry, a minute late, 2 minutes late. Had to restart my Chrome. Good morning, Arthur. Good morning, Pittsburgh. Good morning, Adam. How's everybody doing today? Friday. Everybody going to be stuck in the house today? There's not too much to do around here since they, you still got a day and a half, 2 days to go to Disney World if you want to before they close, which is kind of crazy, but I understand. Hello, Harlan. Harlan Reselling Adventures. Is this Harlan good friends of the bearded one? Also, thank you for coming in. Everybody, thanks for coming in. And I put a call out to Anthony. Yes. Oh, Harlan, thanks for coming in. Thank you very much. I watch you guys' videos all the time. I asked Anthony to come in from Picksburgh to share the screen with me today and talk a little bit.
Good, Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. Great to see you.
You're not a this screen guy, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I'm pretty.
I hear it. I hear it from the ladies all the time. Put us on the small screen. Don't get us so close.
Yeah, I'm pretty equal opportunity when it comes to the screen.
So how are you doing?
A little bit cooler this way.
What was that?
I said it looks a little bit cooler this way, but it doesn't bother me either way.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Cool. Why don't you tell everybody who you are, what you do, in case anybody doesn't know. I'm sure everybody knows by now.
Sure. So my name's Anthony. My YouTube channel is called Picksburgh. I do a lot of, estate sales, garage sales, thrifting, pretty much any type of reselling is what my channel specializes in. I do have a morning show that I do Monday through Friday with Nate Every Day I'm Hustling. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's actually on Nate's channel today for anybody that's interested in checking that out. If you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, put a link in if you'd like in the chat. That's cool. And thanks everybody for coming. I see we have a few Facebook friends over there. Please come over to YouTube channel. I put the link in my Facebook chat. That way, not only I, but everybody can see your messages and you can network and chat with everybody. And then everybody could chat with you. It's all about networking.
Yep.
So I did watch your video, Sandy and my wife Sandy, and I watched your video yesterday, I believe, on the church rummage sale.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun. I'm actually up in the second half to that today.
Oh, there's a second half. Wow.
Yeah, that was only the outside and like bottom floor. There's still 2 more floors worth of digging around.
Oh, I was wondering if that was the basement of the church.
Yeah, essentially what it is right next to the church they have a house that is packed from like floor to ceiling, like the entire way through. So the part that you guys saw was like the basement part of the house. Yep. And then the other part's going to be like the, downstairs of the house and the upstairs of the house.
Oh, okay. And they turn it all into this thrift store that one weekend?
Yeah. I thought it was originally once a year because I went last year and did really well. And turns out that they actually are doing it 1 weekend a month now.
Oh, wow. They must have a lot of stuff then, or a lot of people donating. That's nice.
Yeah. And I guess the the people there were telling me that they donate stuff all the time and keep getting fresh inventory in. So it might become like part of my monthly sourcing. Like route.
That's real cool. Good morning, Mick. Thanks for stopping by, and everybody, thank you for stopping by. I don't know, but are you a pastor too? Are you a youth pastor?
Yeah.
Are you a youth pastor?
Well, I was a senior pastor at the church that we ran, but right now, I don't really have like a title to what I do. I just kind of help out with a couple different churches currently.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, a friend of mine, I always told him he should be a pastor. He should become a pastor because he went for college for religion, believe it or not. And he was always on me to go back to church and everything and trying to show me the way and stuff. And I always said, well, you should become a pastor. You should become a pastor. And he's a fitness person. He's a fitness trainer and, a health trainer. And he moved from Florida here. I sold his house because I'm a real estate broker in Florida. Okay. I sold his house down in Delray Beach, and he moved back home. We're both from Massachusetts, but he went up to New Hampshire. And he opened up a gym. Not a gym, but a personal training gym. Okay. Because he does one-on-ones or couples. And in the back now, he just opened a church, a gym. Oh, yeah, I don't know what they call it, but he has Bible study and that type of stuff, which that's awesome. Pretty cool. Good morning, reseller man. So yeah, I think I caught that a couple of times. I was thinking that you did that. Yep, that's very cool. So do you? Good morning, Uncle Bees. Where do you think, since you're doing basically the same thing I do and the same thing a lot of people do, although there's not that many church rummage sales, where do you think you're finding your best ROI, return on investment?
Hands down, it's been yard sales.
Yard sales? Yep. Okay.
It's insane the stuff that you can get for $1 that people just don't care about. Like all summer long, like I was just telling Nate this the other day, because we were talking about how slow eBay's been, and I was like, just wait, man. Like within the next month, like everything I'm doing on eBay is gonna like triple, if not quadruple, because of all of the really awesome stuff that I get through yard sale season.
That's cool. Good morning, Penny. That's very cool, because I was talking to Sandy about that, and I had figured, due to my last sales, that estate sales were my best return on investment. Mm-hmm. And we have somebody, Junkin Data Girl, you must know her, Maricha. Yeah. She did a clean out of an estate sale last week and posted some pictures here and there. And she came out with all this sports memorabilia that's like incredible. Awesome. Even signed stuff. Now, no, authenticity certificates or anything, but awesome stuff. Just take it. Here, take it. I just need to get the house clean. Just take it.
That's great.
Ultimate score. Good morning, Carol. How are you?
Yeah, I love those type of things. I have relatives that get a hold of my mom all the time because they want me to come pick up stuff for free at their house, and I love those type of situations.
That's nice. And you said you do storage auctions?
We haven't actually gotten any yet, but Nate and I have been bidding on them lately. Just waiting on the right one, because his availability is rough with, basically him working 50 hours at his full-time job throughout the week. Yeah. So I need his help to move the stuff, because I can only lift so much with my back since I broke it several years ago. So,
oh wow, I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah, I used to be a professional wrestler, so I
get out.
Yeah, I wrestled with the NWA.
Really?
Never heard of them? Yeah.
Have I ever heard of them? I've been into wrestling since the early 70s. We had me and my good friend had a fan club for a wrestler, Dean Ho, way back, who was the tag team champs with Tony Gurria way back in the day. And we knew everybody. Killer Kowalski lived in the next town over. And we trained hard. This is when we were 16 years old. We trained hard every single day, 4 hours a day, to because that's what we wanted to do. Two 16-year-old kids, you know, and then they told us how much the school was, and it's like, damn, you know, just the equipment alone was a couple of $1,000 between the boots and the stuff. And so we actually got an offer because we knew everybody. We got an offer to wrestle in Virginia. Two 16-year-old kids, you know. We didn't do it because the equipment was so much money, but my friend did go on and do some local stuff in the Boston area. And his first match, he threw out his shoulder because he missed the mark. And they told him, well, the hospital's, you know where the hospital is, just go ahead. And that was it. So he's like, what do you mean? He said, no, you're an independent contractor. You do what you're going to do. Yeah. So, and what name did you, I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but you just hit a button there with me with wrestling. I love wrestling.
Yeah. I went under the name Tony Hansen. I was part of the Hansen brothers. We were a tag team.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
That is extremely cool, man. So you must still be in it. You must still be a fan.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely still a fan. Wish I could still actually do it, but I've been retired since 2012.
Okay. Well, good morning, Dolly, and anybody else I missed. Wow, that is awesome. Wow, Carol says I used to go to Jack Witzy's in Attleboro way back in the 70s. We did too, every Friday night. One time on a Friday night, Ivan Koloff, we used to sit in the front row because there again, you know, we knew whoever and everybody. And one time, Ivan Koloff missed his mark and fell right on my friend and almost knocked him out. They had to take him to the back room and you know, you okay? I'm very sorry. Oh, but some great memories I have with wrestling. We knew so many of the guys, and you know, of course, a lot of them are gone now. Mm-hmm. But actually, last night at an auction, I just bought 50-something wrestling action figures with some of the original ones.
It's awesome.
I asked, and actually, you know, you're talking about Nate. I actually asked Nate if he wanted to come on too, because I know you guys are a duo.
Yeah.
But and I like it. You know, I like your show because it's cool when you have someone else to talk with, you know, to feed back and forth with.
Yeah, for sure. It makes it way easier having somebody else to kind of bump things off. It's a cool eBay bug.
Yeah. And where are you located?
Pittsburgh.
Oh. Yep. Yeah, you can see I'm only on my second cup, so it hasn't kicked in yet.
Yep. Me and Nate are both from Pittsburgh. We're about an hour apart from each other. But we get together like, you know, once or twice a month for the most part. We'll do some sourcing and do some collaboration videos and stuff like that.
That's very cool. That is very cool. Now, do you sell wrestling memorabilia, like old wrestling memorabilia and stuff?
Yeah, I sell a little bit of everything. Like I have, I don't even know how to explain them. Like the plastic, like stand-up drawers. Like literally, I have one of them that's filled with nothing but wrestling figures. I have like probably 4 different drawers just of like loose wrestling figures.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'll pretty much sell just about anything, but yeah, I do oftentimes pick up the action figures and, you know, the belts and pretty much anything I can find.
Yeah.
Get ROI.
That's cool. You get a lot of autograph stuff?
Not really. I mean, I have in the past, but I don't have too much autograph stuff right now.
I still have a lot mine. You know, people today, Reseller Man says he met Ivan many times. He lives in the town he was recently moved from.
That's awesome.
But, the stuff I have, the kids and the guys today won't, unless they've been into it for a long time, won't know who these people are. Like, you know, Ox Baker and Bruno Sammartino and Fritz von Erich and stuff like that.
Yeah, Bruno actually got my family like into wrestling. My grandmother was an Italian immigrant, and she immigrated to Pittsburgh from Italy, and Bruno's from Pittsburgh, so she just like was a diehard wrestling fan. So like ever since I was a kid, she was like watching it with me, and that's kind of what got me into it.
Wow, what part of Italy was she from?
Calabria.
Calabria, yep. My buddy's grandparents are from Calabria, and my grandfather is from Palermo, Sicily. Cool. And when we were going to do our thing, we were going to be called the Mad Sicilians.
That's awesome.
But wow, too funny. Very cool. So what do you have planned for today?
I'm going to do the morning show with Nate, and then I'm probably just going to list. I need to get eBay up and rolling at a better pace than it's been. you know, I went from like it was cranking pretty well, and then I took a few days off listing just because I was doing other things, and now it like I need to feed the beast again.
Yeah, I hear you. We went home in November, and I had 600 and something listings. I took them all down because I didn't know when we were coming back. Came back in December, only relisted I think half of them. Mm-hmm. And then just last week or a week and a half ago now, I put everything on auction to end on Sunday, and everything ended. Only a few things sold. Mm-hmm. So now I have to determine what am I going to do, and I'm trying to get as much stuff on Amazon as possible.
Yeah, I've done that too. Like pretty much anything I had receipts for that was brand new that I wasn't gated in, I'd shift off to FBA.
Yeah,
clear some space down here.
I just emailed Amazon again because I'm running into the non-gating issue all the time. Mm-hmm. I went to list an action figure, and they said, well, you have to be approved. And I said, I was approved already. Do you want me to get approved for every single character? I said, in cases, it could be 3 to 4 to 5 characters.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. And they gave me a hard time last year. Took me 3 months to get ungated in like Hasbro, Marvel Legends and stuff. Yeah. And they said, we need pictures. So I sent them pictures. No. We need pictures of every side of the box and the item. Okay. So I did that. And 3 months later, they finally ungated me. I sold a lot and then didn't do much with it. Didn't add more stuff to Amazon. And then in January, I tried to. And they said, oh, no, you have to get approved. Why do I have to keep getting approved like every quarter? What is it? What's going on? So I sent them the invoices, sent them the pictures. No, we need pictures of every single side of the box of the item. So sent them everything. And this time only 3 days later, and I was ungated.
Nice.
But all this, I mean, I have stuff like you could see up there, cases and cases.
Yeah.
Like the new Marvel Legends and the Todd McFarlane just started. They got their DC license.
Nice.
And the Batman Who Laughs with the stuff around his face or whatever, that sold out right away. I was lucky to get a whole case.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then when Hasbro announced the baby Yoda or the child, I knew that was going to be hot, so I pre-ordered a couple of cases of everything, which is only 3 or 4 items.
Yeah.
And then we just got a notice last week that it's going to be delayed now for another month minimum.
Yeah, I bet.
It's all coming from China. Good morning, Alexis.
Record Crate was asking for you, is eBay is it important to you as a selling platform?
No, not as much at all anymore. Like we're planning to go home again next month, and it's probably going to be for a month minimum, maybe 2 months. And I can't fill my truck with everything wondering if something's going to sell, and then I have to ship it right away so I don't lose my top rated.
Yeah.
That's why I am trying my best to do more Amazon because I look at it as I'm hiring somebody. I ship it to them,
Yep.
and then they're going to process the payment. They're going to process the shipment. And, they just send me an email. We just shipped something you sold.
Yeah.
We could be anywhere, and it'll be done. So that's what I'm looking at more of.
Yeah. So Record Crate's asking me how important. As of right now, eBay is very important because it's my primary platform, and that's how I make the bulk of my money. I tell people all the time I'm lucky in the sense where I have a sugar mama. Like, my wife is hardworking. She has 2 jobs. She's in nursing. So, like, God forbid something would happen to, my eBay business. Like, we'd survive. We wouldn't be as comfortable as we are with the added income and everything from reselling, but we would still survive. But yeah, it's really important to me right now. My goal eventually is to ramp up Amazon so much to where like eBay can become more of like a hobby platform. It's my favorite to sell on. I've had the best luck with eBay, but I wanted to streamline Amazon in such a way where I can just have my wholesale distributors automatically just send the stuff to Amazon for me. So essentially, like, all I'm really doing every month is just ordering. So that's what I would like to get to that point. Picking and reselling on eBay and Mercari and stuff like that, to me, like, I still consider it to be a hobby. So like, I enjoy it, especially when I get some cool stuff. Like, I actually get semi excited to list stuff that I'm excited about. Whereas like, I have 2 IKEA bags of clothing like off to the left of me right here, and it's like I have no desire to even start digging through that stuff and lifting it. But if I get some video games or some toys or some cool collectibles, like, I'm excited to get home and start throwing that stuff up on my table and taking pictures and getting it listed.
Yeah, I hear you. I do not like doing clothes. When was it List Perfect? No, not List Perfectly. It is List Perfectly, isn't it? They did you just take the pictures and the measurements and they put it. When they first started with their beta and they were doing everything, I gave them a ton of stuff to do and I was loving it. And then when they said, okay, now we're official and we're going to start, but we're only doing fashion. Well, I don't want to do fashion anymore, so I'm sorry. Who did I miss? Sleepless Hustler. Good morning. Thanks for coming in.
But Mac Man?
Who else?
The Sleepless Hustler, right? I call him Mac Man. Does he
okay.
channel? And his name's Mac. So
okay. Good morning, Mac. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming in. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I tend to go on Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock, although I am looking to change the hours because I try to get guests on and they say, well, it's 6 o'clock here and it's kind of early. And I got to remember that. Drunken Data Girl, good morning. But I wasn't on yesterday. I had to go to the doctor yesterday.
Uncle B is saying, I'm not convinced anything really sells on Mercari. LOL, JK, or am I? Believe it or not, like, Mercari actually sells pretty good for me. Lately, it's been outselling eBay. So, like, today, like,
wow. Good morning, Jay. I'm sorry I missed you. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
To get momentum built, but today, all of my orders going out are all Mercari orders.
Wow. I have heard that Mercari is doing well for some people.
Yeah.
I don't list on it. I don't list on Etsy. I don't list on any other platform. Been on eBay now 25 years. Been on Amazon for like 5 years now. But no, Adam, it wasn't. I left. It's a 2-hour drive, believe it or not. I could walk to the border of Orlando, but the doctor's office was deep in Orlando. So it's 2 hours because of all the traffic crap that goes on here. I'm halfway there and I get a call and it says, oh, the nurse you're going to see is, she had a call out. And I said, well, great, I'm halfway there. They said, well, you can come, but you're going to have to wait until somebody can see you in the afternoon. And this was 7 o'clock in the morning because my appointment was for 9. I just left a little really early. So they canceled. I went to Walmart, did some food shopping, and I don't know what the hell I did. There was only 2 cases of water left. I know Sandy said get some water. I picked up the case of water, threw it in the carriage, got home, unloaded it and everything. Within an hour, I was like dead. I was ready to go to bed. It was really bad. Good morning, Gate City Picker. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but my new appointment's in 2 weeks. So sucks getting old. Anybody out there, I highly suggest you don't do it. Think of something else to do at your time. Don't get old. Stay young as long as possible. Because it is awful. But yeah, Macari, Dolly says Macari is selling well. I guess it's the items. I don't know. I get an email from them every day. I have an account, but they're like begging me to list on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the nice thing about Macari is last month they were running, they were giving certain amounts of like credit towards people for certain amounts of listing. So since I hit over 20 listings in the month, they sent me like a $10 coupon to basically use as cash on their site. So I ended up putting it towards getting a new ring light for taking pictures for like eBay and stuff. But they do like little contests like that all the time just to get people excited about listing different types of products and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, to tell you the truth, I don't think I've been on Macari for the longest time. I signed up and then that was it. Yeah, but I guess I need to because like you said, my wife is working and I haven't. Trying to go through, what do they call it? Disability retirement. And it's ridiculous. I can't believe that you need an attorney to do it for you, and it could still take a year. And I hate it inside that my wife has to be the breadwinner lately.
Yeah.
So I really have to ramp up my online sales. Really have to ramp it up.
We've been through that too. When our church first closed, that was kind of like the primary direction that I was heading was towards like the disability end of things. Because outside of working for myself, like I can't really get through a full work day because sometimes I would be in just so much pain I have to go lay down for a while.
Yeah, so, I know what you mean.
The nice thing was even at the church, like I had a nice futon in my office. I can go like lay down anytime I wanted. And I had, like a ice chest there with like ice packs and like everything I needed. So the nice thing about being able to do reselling full time is it's essentially like I just work at my own pace. And, when I'm not feeling good, I just go lay down. And one thing that's been real nice is just like Uncle B just said, he's in the middle of Vendoing to Macari. On days I don't feel good, I'll hop on Vendu and I'll just take that opportunity to cross post items. And
I did hear you talking about that.
Yeah, it's driven a ton of business for me. I know it's like some people are fans of Vendu, some people aren't, but for me, it's earned me a whole lot of extra money. So to spend $18 a month to, make X amount extra a month is worth it.
See, that's the other thing is like real estate, the people, the companies, I think that make all the money, the most money, are the people that sell us the stuff, the companies that sell us the stuff to use in our business. $9 a month, $20 a month, $69 a month for one of them. It adds up. People say, well, I made $1,000 this week. Yeah, but that's great, but what's your cost on the item and what are your expenses on the item? When you come down to it, you could do $5,000 in a month of sales, but are you renting a warehouse? There's a cost. Are you renting? You have employees? There's a cost. Insurance. And then are you using these platforms that if you're using a few of them, it could cost you a couple $100 a month.
Yeah.
And it all eats out of your profit.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing that a lot of people don't get it like that. They don't look at it as business, and they just look at it as, well, I'm just selling this and I'm making money. But they don't think about the costs that are involved to get that sale.
Yeah, for sure. It's one thing I've kind of learned from Amazon more than anything, because there's so many extra costs that are associated. Like,
Yes.
I have to pay for a service just to be able to print labels on my printer, which is $9 a month, which isn't bad considering it could be worse. But yeah, just like all the little things that go into it. Like, I've even kind of baked YouTube into my monthly reseller bills because of StreamYard and different stuff like that.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So good morning, Brittany. Thanks for coming in. Thank you, everybody, again for coming in. This is Anthony, if you don't know it, from Picksburgh. Love that name. And actually, he's from Pittsburgh, and yep. I had to learn that. He does a morning show after us at 10. That's why usually I get off at 10 with Nate from Every Day I'm Hustling. Like I said, Anthony, if you want to put the link in, you can put the link in the chat.
I'll put it in.
So I always wanted to get people in to talk and compare different ideas and what's working. And Anthony had a video the other day about going to a church rummage sale. I like church rummage sales. Unfortunately, here they're, like Anthony says, usually once a year. He found one that's going to be now once a month. Mm-hmm. And the stuff you were grabbing, like, how much were those plushes? Like the big Mickey Sorcerer's Apprentice, because I live 30 minutes from Disney. I know that was like a $30 to $40 plush.
Yeah, that I paid $2 for.
$2.
It never made it to eBay though, because my wife confiscated it the minute I got home. She's a huge Disney fan. But yeah, I mean, for example, I got a giant Scooby-Doo one there for $1 too.
I saw that one too.
And
yeah,
that one I listed for $40 the other day.
Nice.
So,
yeah, people are into plush. In the past, man, I never sold plush, and I never saw them sell. But then I never saw people sell empty toilet paper rolls.
Yep.
Until a couple of years ago either.
Yep, people will sell.
My mind.
It's crazy, but yeah, it's amazing because plush is one of those categories that you can get so cheap. I have a Goodwill right down the street from me that sells plush for 50 cents a piece, and they'll get some pretty nice ones in there. But going to yard sales and stuff like that, you can get them dirt cheap. You can get them dirt cheap at the bins. So I don't know if you've seen those zippered IKEA bags. I'll show you one.
The zippered ones, no. Adrian, good morning.
So I have 8 of these that are filled with nothing but plush.
Oh, wow.
And
yeah, no, I never saw that. I mean, we keep a couple of IKEA bags in the truck all the time. I never saw a zippered one, like a duffel bag.
The same thing, only it has a zipper on it, and they hold twice as much as one of these big totes.
Right.
So I can fit
very cool
totes into one. But I have 8 of them that are literally nothing but plush.
Wow. Now I use Monster Mania was canceled, Adrian. Wow. Adrian, I think you're in work because this is probably your work time. Adrian's a friend of mine for the last, 30, 40 years. Mm-hmm. Still in Massachusetts. He would go to, he goes to Comic-Con every year with our friend John, John, I can't get in here. He's on the shy side. But I would go to Comic-Con with him. I've been, I think, 7 times, and I've missed the last probably 4 or 5 years. But John still does all the shows up there. Adrian usually goes and helps him. Yeah, he's saying the 2 more conventions in Boston canceled and Monster Mania canceled. Wow. Is Adam from Record Crate? Are you still in the room, Adam? Because I wore the shirt just for you. Wow. So yeah, plush. I look at plush sometimes at if we go to a Goodwill or a Salvos or something, and they're like, half of what you could buy them at Disney for.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
sometimes they're ratty, and it's like, is it worth it? You got to wash it and everything.
Yeah, I stopped buying the ones that needed washed and stuff like that, and like I've gotten real picky with it because when I first started, anything that was cheap, I would buy. You know what I mean? Just because it was cheap.
If you could make a buck on it.
Yeah, one of these days I'll get around to cleaning it or doing this or doing that, and one of these days like never ends up coming, and I normally just end up taking it all out to the flea market and basically selling it for what I bought it for. So
Right.
I'm basically just I'm very picky with it at this point.
What about smells? Do you pick up any that have smells?
It depends. I have with shoes before. Plush, not really. But like shoes, like for example, like I got the most rancid pair of retro Jordans one time.
Oh wow!
I think it was like I paid $13 for them at a thrift store, and like even that's like paying up a little bit, but they were $300 shoes. So one little trick I heard through the grapevine that I tested and it actually worked was I took dry tea bags, stuck them in the shoes, and left them outside for a week, and it sucked a lot of the stink out of it.
Oh wow! Mm-hmm. One thing I do, I mean, typically with hats, I wash them, but then for the new ones that I don't wash because they still have labels or tags on them, I throw them in a bin like you have with a cover. But the wash, the scents, like the Gain scents.
Yeah.
I put a little pack of that open in there, and everything comes out smelling great.
I've done that with I'll get like the little Ziploc bags that can seal just in case somebody's allergic to it.
Yeah.
I'll put one of those like in each bag inside of a Ziploc bag just so it's not physically touching for somebody that's allergic, but it still gets the smell in there too, rather than like the stinkiness of a whole bunch of used like material stuff.
Yeah. Penny says, when should one consider getting an eBay store, or should they avoid an eBay store? This was his question.
I appreciate you sharing that, Penny. What I would suggest is if you're listing more than 50 items a month, get an eBay store. I mean, you could start off with like the basic one, if need be, and that'll at least, get you up to 100. And it's super cheap. It might be like $6 or $7, maybe 8 tops, something like that. But I use the premium store, which is the $60 a month store. And the nice thing is, based on what level store you have, you get shipping credits quarterly. So, 4 times a year, I get $50 worth of free eBay shipping supplies, which, is very helpful. And you only get that if you have a store.
Right.
So,
I have the 250 store, and I think it's $29 or $39 a month or something. Or maybe Amazon's $39 a month.
Yeah, Amazon's $39. I think that one you have is like $20 a month, something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't always use remember to use the free supplies. But I do try. Oh, Adam, this is the shirt I was talking about that I wore for you.
That is pretty cool.
It's the first horror convention I ever went to. I think once again I was 75. How old was I? 15, I think. Took my mother. It was New York City. It was a great time. Met Buster Crabbe and a lot of old actors. Paul, back when carnivals were more prolific. I found supplying them with new plush was a great moneymaker. Wow, great idea, Arthur.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
We used to have a carnival in Charlestown, excuse me, Charlestown, Massachusetts, and every year, right about actually it's kind of coming up in a couple of weeks, Patriots Day, because back home Patriots Day is like a national holiday. They have Paul Revere, riding somebody dressed as Paul Revere riding the horse through the original road and everything, and so there's big celebrations going on. That's when the marathon is, and I think they just canceled the marathon also.
Yeah, they're canceling everything due to this coronavirus.
Yep.
They just canceled the NHL. Or not
Yeah.
canceled, but like suspended it.
Yep. Disney here, Disney World, Universal Studios, all closed as of Sunday. It's crazy. It is really crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of money being lost over the coronavirus, that's for sure.
Oh, boy. Well, they said already in England, I guess the Bank of England gave people a moratorium on their mortgages for 3 months.
That's cool.
Without interest and such, which they were doing during the crash here in 07, 08. But you had to request it here.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to have a really good reason. I don't know what they're putting people through to get it over there. A Junk and Data girl said they closed our schools to the end of the month.
Wow.
It's the end of life as we know it. Dogs and cats living together. What are we going to do?
Yeah, it's insane. Hopefully it'll pass quick. But
yeah.
It's
really nuts. It's really, really nuts.
We went to the gym yesterday, and they had people that worked there, like literally going around scrubbing stuff. Like the minute somebody'd get off a machine, even if they like wipe it down, they'd come by and like thoroughly sanitize it.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
yeah,
people are there sweating and everything. A lot of people, and it's amazing how many people at the gym don't wipe it down and just go to the next one.
Yeah.
And Dolly said her kids' schools were closed starting next week. And now, Dolly, you're a nurse, and you had said someone close by was came down with it or was identified with it. It's the other thing, I don't have, my kid is 37. He's back home. But the people with children that go to school and have a job, and most people these days have 2 incomes because everything's so expensive.
Yeah.
If your child is not in school, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to stay home and you lose your income, and then it's an effect there. Everything just goes nuts.
Yeah, for sure.
Good morning, the bargain effect. How are you?
What's up, Tommy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming in. Ian Sleep technician came to our house to give him a new machine that was masked and gloved like a scene from E.T.
Wow.
I remember that scene in E.T.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to be working on a sequel to E.T. now.
Nice. That'll be cool.
20 years later, 25 years later.
They got to make a sequel to that horrible Atari game now, too.
Yeah. Are you into horror movies?
Not as much as I used to be. But I'll watch one every now and again. But my wife is like one of those people that are like super afraid of everything. So I was trying to. I haven't seen A Quiet Place yet, and A Quiet Place 2 is coming out now. So I was getting ready to watch it on demand last night, and my wife was like, "Yeah, you're turning that off. You're not watching that one at home."
They filmed Dawn of the Dead in Pittsburgh at an old mall, didn't they?
Monroeville Mall. It's going to be like in the exact same town where we're doing the Pittsburgh meetup. Now,
did you go see that when they were filming?
No, I didn't. I was too young. But but
you make me feel old, please.
But that's actually one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Believe it or not.
Really?
Original, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, that's very cool. Movie. So, tell us about this Pittsburgh meetup.
Well, Nate and I planned it. The idea was Tommy and his wife Destiny, the bargain effect of the Shamrock Pixie, they were going to come visit Pittsburgh. So we decided to plan a reseller meetup. So basically, anybody that you don't even really have to be a reseller. Anybody like either from YouTube or that sells stuff is invited. We're kind of right now with everything going on with the corona, we're kind of just like watching to see what's going to happen. The original main date is April 18th, but we're going to have a week's worth of activities from the 16th to the 22nd, which was the date range that Tommy and his wife were supposed to be staying with my wife and I. But with the corona thing happening, there's a lot of people that are hesitant to travel right now. So we're kind of just playing it by ear. We haven't canceled it or anything like that, but we're, depending on what happens, we don't want to put anybody in like any kind of danger or anything like that. So
Right.
We're kind of playing it by ear right now due to the corona thing.
That's cool. Well, keep us in touch with that and updated.
Will do.
Because I know Sandy and I are going to be driving home, and originally we were going to look for we want to get out of Florida, and we were originally looking at a place in North Carolina. We figured it'll have all the seasons, but we don't have to deal with frigid temperatures.
Yeah.
But one strategically placed text by my sister-in-law changed all that. So now it looks like we're going back home as originally planned. So we're going to go home, and we usually take our time going up, and we thrift and go antiquing and stuff all the way up.
That's awesome.
So maybe if how far is Pittsburgh into Pennsylvania?
Well, we're in the southwestern part of Pennsylvania, so it just depends on what part you're entering from.
Well, we would come from 95. So you're way over, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
How far is Route 95 from me?
Camden Avenue, Parkersburg is about 132 miles.
Yeah, so like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's pretty big. It takes about 5 hours just to get from like my part of Pennsylvania to like where Pat D's is over in the Poconos area. Like even over to Philly is about 5 hours.
He lives in the Poconos, huh?
Yep.
I didn't know that. We always wanted to go to the Poconos when we were younger. Never went there at all.
Tommy was asking, where's your home?
Where is home? Oh, I'm originally from the Boston area. But Massachusetts taxes are incredible. So we're going to probably go to New Hampshire. My son lives in New Hampshire. He bought a house in New Hampshire. My in-laws are in New Hampshire. My other sister-in-law is in Massachusetts, but friends I grew up with and stuff are still home. So I always call it home. My buddy says that all the time. He says, "I love it that you still call this home."
Yeah.
What am I supposed to?
Yeah.
That's where I was born and raised.
I would probably do the same thing if I ever left Pittsburgh. Although I feel like Nate would like kidnap me if I ever tried. We actually considered moving to Florida, up to a couple years ago, but my wife's the hospital she worked at said that they'd pay for her to go to school, so she's probably going to get the free schooling, and then we'll kind of reassess whether or not we're going to leave Pittsburgh or not. A lot of it just has to do with weather and feeling, a little bit better during the season changes, just from like pain and aches and stuff like that. Tommy's asking, why do you want to leave Florida? Because that's one of the places they are thinking of moving. Okay, I think Paul froze. Hey, Melissa, how are you? Good to see you. Anybody have any questions or anything like that I can answer while we're waiting on Paul to come back? Whether it's personal, resale related, anything like that. There's Nate. I knew it. He says, you better not leave PA. As of right now, I don't have any plans on it, Nate. But yeah, guys, if you see every day I'm hustling in the chat, that's Nate, the guy I do the morning show with that starts at 10 a.m. If you click the 3 dots by his name, he's actually on the way to 1K. So if you'd show him some love, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, Arthur. I did kind of hijack the show. Melissa's asking, how is Nala? Nala's good. I'll show you guys Nala. Nala's my cat. That's Nala. So we originally named him after the female lion on The Lion King, but that was before we found out that he had boy parts. So we have a male cat with a female name.
Hey, sorry about that. Somebody must have hit a pole down the street and knocked out the power for a quick second.
Hopefully everything's okay.
Yeah, I just heard a big bang, and then all of a sudden everything went off. I have the light and everything, just so I think everybody lost power, but then it came back on.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. Very weird.
Yeah, but we'll have to have you on our show at some point, Paul, whenever you have a free morning or whatever.
Yeah, just let me know. Yeah, this was very cool talking.
Yeah, if you're free on Monday, like I'm scheduling Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week, so any of those days would work for me. Yeah,
just give me a day's notice and let me know, and it'll be cool.
Okay. Yeah.
And thank you, Brittany, and hello, Nate. How you doing? Nate, if you want to come on, the link's in the chat. I know you guys are getting on in like 6 minutes, but if you want to come on and say hello, feel free. And definitely put the link in for your chat, your show in the chat. And did I miss anybody? Melissa Cape. Hello, Melissa. Good morning. Sorry about that. We lost power there for a quick second. There must have been an accident. I hate when that happens. And it's funny because in the community, I mean, everything's a community here in Florida. All our utilities are underground, but on the main street, they still have the poles going. But
Uncle B, tell your son I said good luck on his driving test.
Yes. Oh, I remember when I took mine. I still remember to this day.
Nate
two hands. Use 2 hands. What was that?
Nate says he would, but he's upstairs on his phone.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you better get downstairs. The show starts in like 4 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to cut it here, and because I know you got the show to do.
Cool.
And probably got some prep to do. Thank you very much for coming on, and feel free to come on anytime.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't realize you were doing it every day. Or else
Monday through Friday I try.
Mm-hmm.
I do try. I missed yesterday. I missed last Thursday because of doctor's appointments.
I dropped the link to this show in our Facebook group, so hopefully more people from over there will come over and support you as well.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're a small community. We need to support each other.
Definitely.
But, thank you very much again for coming on. Like I said, anytime you want to come on, that would be great. Definitely. You and Nate together, just talk about reselling and stuff and wrestling. I love talking about that too. But thank you, everybody, also for coming in. I don't have my YouTube up, so I don't know what's going on that side. I know the chat's a little behind. But thank you, everybody, for coming in. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe so you know when we go on. And go over to, you said it's on Nate's channel?
Yeah, it's on Nate's channel today.
On Nate's channel, just look in the chat. You should see the link to that. And thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend and make that money and get a lot of stuff listed. Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you.